All right, this is my other Dodge Ram. It's got the HEMI 5.7 liter engine. It's a Dodge Ram 1500. And it's red, of course, just like the other one's red. On this one, I've got a few things I need to correct. It started running rough. Tried to get it out the driveway one day, heading off to work, and it started running rough, and it backfired a few times. And I was like, no way am I getting on the road in that thing. It's the HEMI 5.7 liter V8. Alright, so one thing that's not working right in here is the temperature gauge. The coolant, right, showing the temperature of the engine that's inside on the dashboard doesn't read anything. So I know that that sensor is bad. And another thing too, well, I need to clean that up, but that's not a problem. I'm getting good charge on my battery. My battery seems to be doing fine. So the alternator, which is this right here, right, that's the alternator. Some people call it a generator. It generates electricity, right? The engine turns, the belt turns because it's wrapped around everything that spins and turns, and spins this, which has coils of wire in it and magnets and everything, and it generates electricity. The electricity that is generated off of this is what operates the vehicle. The battery, it's generally only used for cranking over the engine, right? So once the engine's cranked over and is running and operating, all the electricity that the car uses is produced right here. The alternator also puts a charge back on the battery to allow the battery to keep a charge on it, right? But that seems to be working good. I did take voltage readings on it, on the battery, before starting the car or the truck, and also after starting the truck, and getting good voltage readings off of here to charge the battery, so that's not a problem. What is a problem is that temperature sensor is under there. It's under this thing. This is the compressor for the air conditioner, and it's also turned by the serpentine belt. So I have to take this thing off to be able to do that. But I'm going to go in here, and I'm going, oop, door's in the way. I am going to start this thing. See if I can get my battery or my phone set up here so it don't fall over. I got my little tripod. Anyway, I'm gonna hook up my my tester, and I don't know if you can see the whole dash thing here, but maybe I'll move that back a little bit. Oh yeah, you can see. But I'll just move it back a little bit. See if I can get a better view there. But I'm going to hook up my tester underneath the dash here. It's right there, right where the left-hand knee goes when you're sitting in the car. Anyway, just put it right on there. You don't have to force it. I mean, it goes on pretty good. And I'm going to start. Start the engine. This thing's reading. Should be reading. Ah, there it goes. See that? So it's come up and it's giving me some codes. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I don't want it to get too hot because I'm going to get underneath and I'm going to do some work underneath where the exhaust system is. excuse me. Right now it's telling me I got 7 codes. So I don't know if you can see that good, but I've got up here, it says I'm looking at one of 7 codes, and this first code is P0300, and then press this little button here, P0456, P0032, P0118, P0300, P0032, P0118. Okay, back to the beginning. P0300, I believe, is it's missing on cylinder 3, if I remember correctly. I'll look up those codes later, but right now I've got a code on here that says that my oxygen sensor isn't working correctly. I forget which one it is. P0032 might be it, or the P0118 might be it. I don't know. But anyway, I looked at it the other day, and I knew that I needed to replace my oxygen sensor, and also the coolant temperature sensor. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just go ahead and replace that oxygen sensor, and I'll come back and I'll look. The reason being I'm going to replace the oxygen sensor is because the what do you call it? The oxygen sensor tells the computer certain information, and then the computer makes decisions based on that. So it may not be putting in all the proper information. So what I've got is here. This is the temperature sensor that I purchased. So that's the new temperature sensor. So I'll have to move the air conditioner, air compressor thingy out of the way, and then I got the O2 sensor. This is the O2 sensor. See, it comes with a little cable and the connector. So that plugs into, I bought 2 of them, and I'm going to replace the front, or what they call it. So I've got ones that are kind of towards the front of the exhaust, and some that are towards the back further on. I forget the nomenclature for all that, but I'm going to replace the 2 that are closer to the engine. And I think this will help the computer in the engine, or the computer in the car, be able to tell the this will sense the oxygen better, which will give better signaling to the computer, which will control the oxygen and fuel mixture in the car. So I need to find something that'll fit this. I did find this. That right there fits it pretty good, pretty tight. Not extremely tight, but all I gotta do is just kind of like the old one, just kind of like pop it, break it loose a little bit, and then it should come out easily. So I'm gonna crawl under the car or under the truck, find a couple of these that I need to replace, and I'm gonna set up shop under the car. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm underneath. There's the transmission, bottom of the transmission, and the transmission connector thing over there, right? If you look up here, see if I crawl back here a little bit better than I am now, I'll be able to show you. what I'm looking at a little bit better. All right. So, you got this thing, whatever the heck this thing is. But it's part of the exhaust. And if you notice right here, you see that? Let's see if I can get my arm up in there. This thing is one of the oxygen sensors. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Back out a little bit. Hang on. Okay. Yep, that was way up there, wasn't it? There we go. Okay, I guess that's better. But anyway, that's one oxygen sensor. You notice the wire goes up, and then there's the connector. Up there, can you see it? Can't really get my arm up there, but okay, right here. There's the other one I'm talking about. So, and it has this wire that runs up. It goes over here to another connector right up there. But anyway, I'm gonna pop that one loose, and I'm gonna replace it. They call that one the upstream because it's upstream, closer to the engine. Yes, that's the term I was trying to remember earlier. And then this one is the downstream. So I'm going to replace my two upstreams today, because that's what I've got. And then maybe tomorrow, the next day, I'll do the downstream sensors. But for today, I'm gonna go ahead and replace those upstream sensors, one on each side. So I got this one. So if you're looking, imagine you're in the driver's seat and you're looking forwards, right? This is the left side, and I go on the other side of the transmission over there, and that's the right side. You can see the tire there. That's the front right tire. Come over here, and this is the front left tire. And I'm looking, that's the oil pan, and then this is where the transmission and the engine come together, and that's the pan for the transmission. So the exhaust on the left side, so the left 4 cylinders exhaust through here. All right, so I'm gonna pop that thing loose, and I guess I'm gonna hold this here while I get my tool up in there, which was this one. So anyway, I'm just gonna get it up in there. Just gonna slowly. I'm just gonna get it on there to where I can just pop it loose. I don't have to do a whole lot. Just gonna. All right. I don't know if that helped or not, but yeah, this might not be the exact fit that I want. Did I find it? It fit the other one, but I don't know if it's fit. Oh, it's loose. Okay, so it did do it. See how it's hand tight now? I'm gonna follow the wire up. And okay, I found it up there. It's up in there. Just hand. See if I can get it disconnected with one hand. All right. One problem with trying to hold the camera and doing all this at the same time is, you know, I'm not looking at the connector. Yeah, you know, because I just got stuff in the way here. All right, so I'm gonna lay this thing down. I'm going to fiddle with that connector for a little bit. Plus I'm getting dirty hands. So, alright. So what I had to do, I had to, ooh, there we go. I had to kind of do a little investigation. I realized I need a little screwdriver to kind of do a little prying. And this is the new one here. And on this little connector, see if I can get my arm around here. There's a little tab here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but where's it at? Oh, there it is. There's a little tab there. It's just kind of got to put that little screwdriver in there and kind of give it a little nudge to get it off the little tab thing that's holding it on, kind of like that. So I'm going to reach up in there. It's going to be hard for me to do the camera right now, but I'm going to reach up in there. I'm going to try to have my oh, I lost it. Where is it? Oh, okay, there it is. My orientation got kind of swiveled around a little bit there. So I can't really do the camera and do two arms up in here at the same time. So I'm going to put that screwdriver up in there. Figure out which side is that little tab thing on. Oh, there it is. So it's really simple once you figure it out. All right, so there it is. That connector is so dark, and everything else up in there is dark too. And I was going to use my oh, there we go. I got little bits of things falling down on my forehead as well. Come on, disconnect. Yeah, I got little crumbs and things falling off the exhaust thing coming down on my forehead. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to just give it a little tug. Alright, come on, connector, you can do it. My fingers are a little bit greasy too. Alright, rearrange a little bit more. Alright, well, it should just pop off now. Lay that down right there and just get my arms up in there. That way I can pull one in and pull the other. Oh, come on. That's one thing I don't like about getting into cars. And I can never get my arms exactly where I need them to be. And I can't always see things the way I need to see them. I'm always afraid that I'm going to mess something else up. Because that thing is kind of wrapped around a wire going to some other sensor on the transmission. Woo! Got little bits of stuff just falling right down. That's why you need to wear eye protection of some sort. Oh. There we go. Oh, come on. Get off of there. I tell you, every time I watch other people's videos, it makes it look so simple. But for me, I always find that there's one simple little thing that just doesn't want to work right. So for me, for one, it's getting my arms up in there, being able to undo the connector properly, because I've got slippery fingers, because everything's dirty and oily and grimy. Alright, so I'm going to have to, I don't know if you got that on on the camera there, but something fell straight down right on my glasses. Come on, disconnect. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is just turn the camera off. Work on that somehow. Jeez. Alright. Y'all don't need to sit here and watch me do this. So I'm just going to turn that off. Or no, I'm not going to turn it off. I'm just going to pause it. Actually, I am going to turn it off so I can use my flashlight. Okay. I figured out what I was doing wrong. But now I don't know if my camera's filming correctly. But anyway, I don't know if you can see up in there, but where's that? Right here. See, that's the end of that's the one that's on the car. I got the old one off of it, and off of right here. I went ahead and disconnected. And the reason I was having such a hard time was because I just couldn't see very well, and I couldn't tell what I was feeling. So I ended up just using my thumbnail to push that little clip down, and that little clip worked perfectly fine. And once I did that, I was able to get it off of there. So this is the old one. It's kind of dirty. This is the new one. You can tell how nice and clean it is compared to the old one. And yeah, holding them next to each other, they look pretty much identical. So I've got this little plastic thing on here. I'm going to go ahead and take that off the threads. You can see that little plastic white thing. Just take that off the threads. It's like a protector thing. I'm going to go ahead and screw this in to the exhaust. Screw it into the exhaust first. Oh, there it is. And then I'll connect the wire on the connector. The reason I do that is because as I screw this thing in, I don't want to twist the wire all up. I want it to not be all crimped up, twisted and everything. I want to be able to have it straightened out and working perfectly fine. Alright, you going in? Are you lined up? Let's see, am I lining you up just right? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So you got to get the threads lined up just right. You don't want to strip it or anything. You just want to put it in hand tight, and then come back with the wrench and just kind of snug it up, because it'd be really easy to strip those threads. All right, so I got it in there hand tight. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my wrench. I rearrange myself so I can get both hands up in there. So I didn't lift my truck up, so it's not like I have a whole lot of room to work down here right now. If I'd lifted the truck up, you know, I might have been able to maneuver around a little bit better and had better lighting and all that good stuff. All right, so got that on there just a little bit, turn it around. There we go. And just kind of, I'm going to work with it. I'm not going to tighten it real tight. I'm not going to like bear down on it or nothing like that. I'm just going to tighten it up enough to where it's not going to vibrate loose, you know, later on. Make sure I got my wrench on there properly. Get on there, wrench. Turn around. One thing you never want to do is bear down on them and, you know, strip them, because once you strip them, that's it. You got a booger problem on your hand. All right, so I got a nice little tension on there, enough to just snug it up good. enough so that as you drive it for the next 100,000 miles, it's not gonna sit and loosen up. Where is that? Oh man. There we go. Lining up that connector, and you've got to push it in until you hear it snap. Okay, I heard the snap. So there we go. Perfect. All right. And that'll sit there and ride good. So I got that side done. Now I need to slide over to the other side. Which I'll probably do. Well, I think I need to go ahead and I need to crawl out, clean off this thing. I had a bunch of little stuff falling on my head. What it is there's this plastic. I don't know if you can see it. It's like some kind of plastic stuff that was wrapped around like a little wiring harness up there, and that stuff it's crumbled over time. Look at that. And I was bumping up against it and everything, so it was just falling down on my head here. All right, so I'm going to leave my tools sitting right under here. I'm going to take this older oxygen sensor out with me as I go. And I'm going to come in on the other side. Over there. I'm going to shake that junk off the cardboard too. Oh, there's my sensor. My new sensor, oxygen sensor. All right. Yep, almost lost my keys. All right. Where's this thing? Huh, okay. But now that I've done that, I know what I'm doing. I can come over here and I can get this other one done fairly easy. Now that I've seen it. All right. Now I'm on the other side. Just kind of came in from the other side. If you look right there, you can see that's the downstream O2 sensor. And then up there, can you see it? The upstream O2 sensor. All right, I think you can see it. Anyway, it's up in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock it out real quick. Do my best. This side's a little tighter than the other side, so I'm not going to film doing this side, but I'm going to get up in there and I'm going to get it done. Well, I got it. And I tell you, that one was a pain in the you-know-what. But I got it. I kept at it. The reason it was a pain was because I couldn't get positioned correctly. I couldn't get my arms up in there correctly. And I did finally get that little connector thing to where I got it disconnected and got them. As soon as I did that, I immediately turned around and put the new one in, and the new one went in. I'm going to say it took me. I'm going to say it took me 45 minutes to get that one out. because I just couldn't get my arms up in there right. The one on this side, which much look at my hands, was much tougher than the one on the other side. But once I figured out what I was doing, I got it. And I'm going to say it probably took me a minute to put the new one in. 60 seconds. Oh my gosh. All right. All right, so look at these two old ones. Can you tell how dirty they are? They're just old and yacked out. You can tell they're definitely, compared to those new ones, these things got a lot of crud on them. Those little sensor ends. So anyway, alright, those are O2 sensors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in the truck. No, I'm going to turn this thing on, and I'm going to clear out the codes, and I'm going to see what happens. Because a lot of times you can get in here and just clear these codes out. That way the computer has to read it all fresh and new. Since I got those oxygen sensors changed out, the readings are going to be different. The computer's going to get different readings from the oxygen sensors. This thing's reading right now. Alright, so what I'm going to do, there's an erase thing right here. So I'm going to erase. Erase. Come on, erase. Okay, it's erased. You hear it backfiring? Erase. Sent. So erase was sent. Now it's doing read. Right, still says P300, which means I am pretty sure P300 says backfiring on, I mean not backfiring, but missing on cylinder 3. Pretty sure that's what that says. It still says I had 7 things there. P0456. So I need to look up some of these. P0032. P0118. P0300. P0032. Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely running rough. Whoa, did you hear that? Woo, okay. Yeah, I didn't like the sound of that at all. That was definitely a backfire because there's fuel. There's fuel and oxygen in the exhaust that's not. Yeah. P300. I might need to change coil. Okay, there we go. Oh well. Okay. It's just part of it. I know the seat's dirty. The whole truck's dirty. Oh well. I'm going to figure out which cylinder is 300. pull a what do they call that? These things are the ignition coils. So I'm gonna have to figure out which cylinder is 3 and swap it with one on the other side. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Dang it. Okay. All right. That's enough for today. Excuse me. But I'm gonna just stop this video right here because it's getting cold and I gotta go pee.